What fantasy character would you be if you could be any fantasy character in any fantasy universe? That's the prompt. I'm sitting here with Joe Snow.
What's up, guys? If I could be any fantasy character?
Well, let's start off with this. What are some of your favorite fantasy characters?
Oh, man, where do I start? Given my name, Joe Snow, I am a huge fan of Game of Thrones.
Iconic.
The books more so than the show.
Okay.
If we're diving deep and getting super critical.
I think we need a renaissance. It's been a couple of years since the finale.
I think you're
finale
right.
season.
I don't know. I think it might be too soon.
Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Game of Thrones content.
However,
What else do you like?
I do think the potential of Jon Snow, that character, super flawed, super emo.
Flawed in a good way, though. I would
Yeah,
say.
for sure. He's
Like,
not he's not a villain. He's definitely
No.
a heroic character. He means well. But yeah, I just like his idea, the idea of him, and venturing off into the wild on his own with his trusty wolf.
Yeah, that's true. He's got a wolf.
Yeah. But to go further from
anything from Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings for sure. I'm Aragorn has always been from a young age he was up there.
I'm pinning you as a swordsman.
Yes, definitely. However, I would pick up a lightsaber from time to time again.
There you go.
I think Obi-Wan definitely is a cool pick.
So uncivilized.
I think Anakin too. If he could get the right
Talk about flaws.
story to back his character up, I think he would be an awesome character. So kind of like Jon Snow. I think given his past and his upbringing and what he faces along his journey, I think
that's interesting.
A really, really dynamic character.
I feel like Anakin is what Luke is. Like, they're the same character, but one fell for the darkness and he fell for his temptations in a selfless way. Like, it was always for Padme.
For sure.
And then Luke stayed true for himself, for his father, again in a selfless way.
Yeah.
And now it's got me thinking, like, what if Jon Snow fell to the dark side? That's we'll talk about that later.
Well, we don't know. I mean, the show's kind of cut the storyline short, but there's a lot to unpack.
Are there any moments? I'm just thinking out loud. Like, are there any moments when when Jon Snow was tempted by the darkness? Maybe with
I think
Daenerys.
Even in the show, the fact that he came back to life.
That's true. Yeah.
He did not. He was very mad about that.
Yeah.
He did not want to come back to life. He would have rather stayed dead and not have to deal with all of Westeros' problems. And then come to find out he was actually the king of Westeros.
What a comeback. That's the reason why he was able to leave the Watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll give Game of Thrones a deep dive at some point.
Oh man, that's gonna be a whole season.
Any characters from Lord of the Rings that you enjoy?
Yeah, like I said, Aragorn is definitely a really, really cool character. I mean, he's tried and true
Strider
all the time. He doesn't really make any blunders throughout his story.
Yeah, the characters in Lord of the Rings, I feel like, are very true.
Right.
Their personality.
There's not a whole lot of flaws within.
They're like gods. They're written like gods, right?
Yeah.
They're ideal. They're
although
idealized.
I would say Boromir. He's a really.
It's true.
I think.
Absolutely.
He's got a good onward trajectory, kind of plateaus, and then just takes a nosedive there towards the end. But he only has one book.
He's like a character in a horror movie. They go, he's just set up from the beginning. He is the failure character.
Yeah.
He's demonstrating a lesson.
But I think his motivations are noble. He's trying to make his father happy. He's trying to do right by his country.
Yeah.
He's a good representation of all humans. We are all flawed individuals, and we make bad decisions. Even though he thought that he was making a good decision, it was definitely a bad one.
Yeah.
And it led to his demise, which kind of snowballed there towards the end. But I think he's a good character. I think
definitely.
He's noble.
Do you see yourself?
He's honorable.
I don't think I'd want to be Boromir.
Well, I think he does redeem himself there towards the end. He knows what he did was wrong with it. It's almost too late, but he did try his best to save the hobbits.
Yeah, he did.
He just got loaded full of arrows.
He took an arrow to the knee. Okay. All right. Any other fandoms that you resonate with?
Oh, the Witcher for sure.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. You're not too familiar with
I
the Witcher.
No, I don't know too much about The
think,
Witcher. I know it's been very popular in recent times.
I am not huge on like the lore of The Witcher, but I do admire the character of Geralt, as most people probably would be. He's definitely flawed. He was put on this path as a young child and never really given much of a choice, and then ends up being this almost immortal monster slayer that everyone kind of fears and hates.
Imagine putting that in your LinkedIn bio, monster slayer.
That no one likes. Please hire me. Here's my resume.
Okay, so, all right. So, which of those characters do you think you would choose? Because I feel like in this prompt, we would want to be choosing characters that we would want to live like, but then also live with their consequences. And it's like you do it like we talk about their flaws and their pros, but like you do have to live with the flaws.
Right. I think I would go with Aragorn, or even Strider before he becomes King of Gondor, because he has that right. He's the rightful heir to Gondor.
Yeah.
And he knows that, and many people know that throughout his whole life, but he chooses to live a life of exile and kind of live outside of the spotlight, and is still like going about his life trying to do the right thing, and help people as much as he can without having that noble title of king.
So what I guess now we have to decide how Strider, Joe Snow as Strider, would live. Like what realm, what planet, what town, province you would fit best inside of.
I guess
thriving.
If we can break it down. Let's say like Middle Earth, as it's a cool place.
Yeah.
It's kind of a small town, a little one-horse townish. Everyone kind of knows each other. There's some neighbors that people don't like. They really don't like. And there's some other neighbors that they just prefer to ignore. That seems a little bit too small for me.
Okay.
And then you have, let's take Westeros for example.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big place. Even Westeros and Essos, those are big
they're
maps.
large, definitely. Lots of diversity.
Lots of
culture.
Yeah, a lot of conflict, a lot of depression, and just overall struggle.
To be honest, the magic scares me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like unknowns there. I would probably avoid that like the plague.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have to, and I don't really know too much about like the Witcher continent of the Witcher. I know they refer to that as the continent in the show. So I think I'd have to go with the enormous, massive, almost infinite galaxy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where I could get on a spaceship and go almost anywhere.
That is pretty cool. That's a huge luxury of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I think I would be
It's much more than just a planet.
Rightful king of Gondor / Ranger of the North / traveler of the galaxy.
Yeah. Wait, so do these other realms exist within the Star Wars universe?
Sure, why not?
Is that canon?
It's all, how many universes do we have?
I guess the theory of universes that of the dimensions is that everything that could exist does exist.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's incredible. So everything's Star Wars canon.
If you want, I guess you could put it that way.
Oh my God. Okay.
What about you, Dusty?
All right. Okay. All right. So I will say I'm pretty centralized. Most of you probably know me from, talking about Pokemon, and there definitely are characters that are cool. But pretty much every single character in the Pokemon universe is a normal human being. The Pokemon are sweet. The Pokemon are great, but I see them more as creatures, like animals, even though they do show friendship towards human beings. So I'm going to veer away from the Pokemon universe. And I got to say, my next up is Star Wars. So immediately what I identify with are a lot of the Jedi teachings, but not the rigid Jedi teachings. What I like are when Jedi show their humanity. So some Jedi that I've really gravitated towards are Obi-Wan Kenobi, no doubt. I I think Luke is a little too rigid for me. So we got Obi-Wan Kenobi, an excellent Jedi, known across the galaxy. Second up is his master, Qui-Gon Jinn, in canon. I think Qui-Gon Jinn is kind of right where I would want to be, where someone who practices the Jedi teachings for good, right? For the light side, for the benefits of humanity. But he's not afraid to walk the line of what the Jedi, what do they call in the prequels, the pragmatic Jedi, would consider dark side magic. I think Qui-Gon Jinn, a student, right, the student of Dooku, is actually a Jedi that I would actually enjoy to be like, right? I think I believe in yin and yang. I think there's good and evil, and when you see good, there's a cost, right? When you see evil, there's a cost. Everything has its cost. Everything floats in a balance. I think some other Jedi that kind of have this are Mace Windu. You've got Ben Solo. I don't know if you would actually call him a Jedi, but this man does float in between.
He's not quite a Sith either.
I don't think he's a Sith at all. No, not at all. Because his master's not a Sith, right?
Yeah, true.
So
we don't really know what he was. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, we don't. Well, I guess Snoke was really just a
embodiment
of Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I gotta pinpoint someone, I would say either Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah, my fantasy character is
Liam Neeson,
the human being on planet Earth.
Liam Neeson.
So I think my character would be either Qui-Gon Jinn or Ben Solo, and I think I'm gonna lean towards Ben Solo, mainly because I know more about Ben Solo. I look up to Qui-Gon Jinn. I think he's a great Jedi, but we don't have as much canon to reference, and I think also Ben Solo will look better in a thumbnail. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So moving on the list, we were talking about Jon Snow. There's so many great characters in Westeros, but bottom line. Actually, no, that actually only applies to like the region. We'll talk about that with the region. I was gonna say bottom line, it's a shitty place to live.
I mean, I think no matter where you are on that map,
yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah. So, okay,
there's death all around.
Let's just go for it. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. I want to be Ben Solo, son of Han Solo, son of Leia, Princess Leia Organa. This guy, grandson of Darth Vader, the evil Sith Lord. Okay, apprentice. He's not apprentice of Emperor Palpatine. But let's continue.
He was kind of an apprentice of Luke for a while.
Yeah. I was
that's
just gonna
pretty
say.
Cool. That's a thing you should put in your resume.
Ben Solo, apprentice of Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. All right, let's segue right into our next sponsor, Espanol Tequila Escalante Tequila. All right, getting right back to the show. We're talking about our favorite characters and which regions, which planets, universes we would.
What setting they would flourish in.
Yeah. So, Joe Snow, you've chosen
Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but before he became king.
Excellent.
Strider, let's say.
Yeah, and I've chosen not Kylo Ren. We've chosen the apprentice of Luke Skywalker, grandson of Darth Vader, son of Han Solo, Ben Solo. This is after his whole, the sequel trilogy. Okay, so now let's talk about setting. You've mentioned that you want to talk you've mentioned that you would enjoy living in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to be admired about Middle Earth and Westeros. There's in Westeros you have the North and the South. There's like the frozen, icy, cold ass North.
There's dragons.
There's also dragons. There's a warm, summery place in the South. There's a volcanic land that people don't go to.
Yeah.
Off to the east. There's even more danger further east. I think the same could be said for Middle Earth. There's like a peaceful western area.
Yeah.
There's cold norths. There's warm souths. There
big definitely
mountain ranges.
Yeah. There's nice climates.
Really cool places to expand to and adventure in. But I think the fact that you can leave planets and go to other planets, and those planets specifically have their own climates.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Deserts. ice
You
cubes,
can pick what you want, really.
jungles,
You have a variety.
oceans. You can kind of just do whatever the hell you want there, and I think that is something. That's where I would want to be.
I think that's
traveling across the universe or galaxy.
I agree with you. I think that's kind of like picking. It's kind of like picking more wishes when you have 3 wishes.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it truly is the best answer objectively.
That might be a cop out. If I had a second choice, it would probably be Middle Earth, just because I think I've committed that map to memory almost.
There you go.
I could probably walk it myself if I had the option.
Yeah, you know the ins and outs. You get the street smarts.
Yeah.
I think.
I know my way around.
All right, and then I think. I think I would also have to choose the Star Wars universe. I think I'm gonna force myself to choose a planet, however, because my character already exists in the Star Wars universe. Let's pick somewhere that's nice. I'm gonna choose somewhere. Well, yeah. So before I choose, I do want to say I've ruled out some of the other planets. Actually, yeah. So I've ruled out some of the. I'm spinning in circles. So I've ruled out some of the other locations. Let me try it again. This is how I do it. This is how I do it when I'm recording videos. So actually, I've ruled out some of the other locations, the fantasy locations, because mainly a lot of fantasy locations are harsh environments. If we're choosing something hypothetical, something that I would want to embody, I don't think I would want to choose somewhere that's littered with disease and zombies and destruction and poverty. This is not evil. There's a lot of evil too in Westeros. So I think while I would want to choose, this leads me to the conclusion, while I would want to live in the Star Wars universe as Ben Solo, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to choose the Pokemon universe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Curveball here.
Yeah. I actually
Ben Solo in the Pokemon universe.
Dude, I'm going to be not only a gym leader, I'm not going to be a trainer, I'm not going to be a gym leader. I'm going to be the champion of the region. I'm going to be Red from Pallet Town. I'm going to be living... No, I'm going to live at the base of Mount Silver, and I'll challenge travelers at the top of Mount Silver. For those of you who are not familiar with the Pokemon games, this is endgame of the Johto games. This is Generation 2, Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. In the remakes, in the Generation 4 remakes, this is Pokemon Heart Gold, Pokemon Pokemon Soul Silver. This is a beautiful location. It's mountainous, right?
Go follow Dusty Go-Goat on YouTube.
Yeah, please. Yeah, you already know I got the link in the description. So I feel like it's only appropriate that I choose a team of 6.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, like in Pokemon games, you historically get 6 Pokemon as your team, right? If I'm going to be reigning champion of the Johto region, I need a team. Let's just go off the bat right now. This is going to be... I'll keep this brief. Off the bat, Ben Solo is in Johto. He's in the Pokemon realm. He's got a team of 6 Pokemon. So this is good guy Ben, right? This is at the very end.
Innocent Ben.
Yeah.
Maybe questioning the light side, being a Jedi.
Yeah.
Maybe thinking about going dark, but he hasn't killed anyone yet.
Okay, so
He hasn't murdered his father yet.
So let's pick some Pokemon who are Scizor. Scizor is the evolution of Scyther. I'm going to be showing everything on screen. Red, covered in an iron-plated armor suit. This is just like Ben Solo, but he's got the red of the dark side. Let's pick also something that's blue. What's your favorite blue Pokemon? Maybe Blastoise?
Sure.
Yeah, Blastoise. Blastoise also has cannons on his back, which are similar to guns, which is an homage to Han Solo. So I like that.
Can we relocate them to his hips?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then so we got Scizor, Blastoise. What about the Millennium Falcon? That was his ship that he lost. Yeah. Is there a Falcon Pokemon? Let's do Talonflame. No. Yeah, let's do Talonflame. I like that. It's a fire flying type. I think it's like a hawk.
Badass.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got this great ability. Let's do something to homage Luke Skywalker. Could be a flying type. Should we do Lugia? Psychic? Legendary? Mewtwo?
Mewtwo.
Like what's like the Jedi Master?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Pokemon, but I do know Mewtwo, and I know the mystique behind that.
Yeah, let's do Mewtwo. Mewtwo is psychic type, one of the greatest base stat totals. I know Joe Snow's taking another sip of his drink. I don't want to bore this man.
Oh, by all means.
We got 2 more slots to fill. Let's do something having to do with heartbrokenness or I guess coming back to life, let's say. Because Ray Skywalker brought him back to life. Yeah. Let's do Gallade. No. Let's do... Actually, that's kind of good. Yeah, to represent the duality of the Force. What do they call it? The triage, the duage. In the movies, they say Ben Solo and Rey have a duality in the Force. What do they call it?
I think you could just
they call it something. It's got a name.
I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's essentially a duality.
It's
light and dark, a yin and yang.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do this to finish up Ben's team. We're gonna do Gallade and Gardevoir. These are male, female counterparts. These Pokemon are both psychic, fairy, and then the other one's psychic, fighting type. And they you can literally see their heart organ in their design on the front of their chest. They're highly empathetic creatures. This is the perfect team for Ben Solo. All right, what do you think?
I think it's great.
Yeah, and thinking about Strider, this is a humble pre-King Strider.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars universe, where do you think he would reside if he had to choose a planet?
I feel like he would probably be on Alderaan before the incident.
I like that, yeah.
But maybe even
pretty
Naboo.
Affluent.
But I think Alderaan probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he would be a Jedi in that realm? He must be.
I don't know. I don't know if he would be a Jedi or kind of a rogue, or maybe like a sort of a Han Solo type character. Maybe not as outspoken. I think you're right. Yeah, I think he would be like Han Solo. He not a smuggler per se, but someone who kind of gets the job done. Maybe like a Diego Luna. I think. I don't know if have you seen Star Wars Visions? Because there's some characters in that. I have not. I've been told to watch it. You gotta after this. We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll watch a couple of episodes after this. There's a couple characters in that they seem to be not even Jedi or Sith, but they have access to lightsabers. I feel like Strider might be like that. Yeah, I think given the chance, he would definitely wield a lightsaber. I think he would kick ass with the lightsaber. Oh, for sure. Maybe even dabble with the Force. Yeah. If not, he probably would have his own bow and arrow. Oh, so. I like that. So so he would have a blaster. Maybe a blaster, or maybe even the crossbow that Chewbacca has. Yes. Yes. Or something like that. Something that I'm thinking about, and you could tell me about this. I feel like Strider kind of distanced himself from religion or maybe faith-based things. I'm thinking of his relationship with Liv Tyler. The elves, yeah. I think right. I think it goes back to that whole. We mentioned Ben Solo has this thing with Rey about the duality of the Force. I think Strider struggles with that himself, and just the duality of he knows that he has this opportunity to become like a very powerful king and have this powerful position, but he knows the vulnerability and the struggle that comes with that power. Yeah. And I think that's why he's avoided it for so long throughout his whole life. And I think given his ancestry and how that power kind of failed his ancestors, he's avoiding that. And I think he struggles with that balance of trying to be a good person on a personal level, but as well as if he was to become king, how would he defeat evil in the place that he lives? I feel like I didn't pick Qui-Gon Jinn, but I feel like Qui-Gon and Strider are very similar characters. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Aragorn really has an apprentice per se, but I think they're definitely very worldly. They're wise old men.
Yeah.
Who've been around. They've seen a lot. They've fought a lot. They're very capable, and they're total badasses.
That's beautiful.
I wouldn't want to tango with them.
All right, man. Let's wrap this episode up. Do you have anything to plug?
Espelon Tequila.
Yeah.
And
right.
Dusty Go-Go on YouTube.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And once I get my cooking TikTok up and running, come follow me, Joe P. Cooks.
Yeah, Joe P. Cooks. If you stayed this far into the video, let us know in the comments if you want to see more content like this, more discussions like this. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.